Alrighty, guys. So you guys are about to see this girl boss gatekeep. Go ahead and give some solid evidence that abortion is okay. Let's go ahead and watch.
It's disgusting, and you should
It's disgusting. Totally not emotional appeal, but let's go ahead and continue.
be damn ashamed of yourself, and I don't believe that, and I'm not gonna fight until people like you do not have a place to come on here on my campus that I paid a school to go to and spew your fucking lies. I have a personal question for you. Are your beliefs about abortion and life and conception, does that have anything to do with your personal religious beliefs? Your belief that life is a conception, that is not shared by a lot of people. It's not shared by me. It's not shared by any of my friends. So I'm asking you, why should your moral belief be the end all be all and make the law and take away the right to a clean, safe abortion for women to have? And the fact that you can sit here and say that the rapist baby, the seed or whatever you want to call it, the baby that's still in your belly and that it's not born yet, that you should be forced to have that, it's disgusting. And the fact that you can come over here and have an entire career based off of this, and I'm not done speaking, and then you can sit here in front of my friend who was a victim of rape and say that she should have that baby, it's disgusting.
I just want to say, guys, this is so funny because you could tell she's one of those hot Cheeto girls who pull up her pants so high, her leggings, and she feels like automatically she's like 100-pound girl. I'm sorry, sweetheart, to break it to you. You're still 220 pounds and you're obese for a woman of your stature. But okay, let's continue.
And you should be damn ashamed of yourself, and I don't believe that, and I'm not gonna fight until people like you do not have a place to come on here on my campus that I paid a school to go to and spew your fucking lies.
Well, I believe in the First Amendment. Do you believe in the First Amendment?
Do you?
Do you believe in the First Amendment? I've allowed you to sit here and scream at me for an hour and a half
I'm saying I don't believe that you should have the
disgusting
right to
things
take away my access to a clean, safe abortion as a human right. I have the right to have the autonomy over my own body. You have the right to your autonomy over your own body. We both get knocked up.
So you think by having autonomy over another body within your body isn't that hypocritical? Because whenever you have an abortion, you're literally aborting the feces within you. That's how hypocritical it is. And by the way, because I know this can be Karen in the comments, I mean, look at me. I'm a little chubby. The other lady's a little chubby. I mean, we're all chubby. There's a lot of chubbiness around to go around. So don't take that joke offensively. It's just funny because, liberals are very hypocritical and whatever.
Sex, both of us pregnant. You want to abort it? You don't want to abort it? Your decision. If I want to abort it, I'm going to fucking do that. Okay. So who are you to sit here and tell me?
Yeah, so I don't want to own a slave, but you want to own a slave. Am I supposed to just sit around and say that?
Do not sit here in front of a microphone and compare owning a slave to me, you white fucking bitch. You have no idea to sit here and say this shit to me.
Ma'am, that is the argument you just made.
And you're not white?
No, it's not. No, it is not. That is your incorrect interpretation. That is a logical fallacy. You think you can sit here and go ring around the rosy with me?
Argument. Are you done with your question? Because you asked me like.
You haven't answered anything. You've actually just made a statement and completely deterred my argument in a completely different way. Oh, do you think that you can own a slave? If I want to own a slave, can I own a slave? How can you sit here with a straight face and say that to me? How is you not embarrassed?
All emotions here, guys. All emotions. Let's continue.
Okay, do you want me to answer your question? How can you sit here and deny biology?
How can you sit here and deny biology? I'm asking you the same question.
Do you want me to answer your questions? If you will sit down, I will answer your questions.
I'm going to stand right here, and I want you to tell me how you think it's okay to compare owning a slave to having an abortion. It is not even in the same ballpark.
Yes. Because
Black people were not seen as people in this country.
Yes,
they were
just like what
enslaved.
you've done time and time again tonight to an unborn child. You have argued.
Unborn child, not living. Black people already existed. They were born.
Unborn children are
living,
literally
born into slavery.
Would you like me to answer your questions? I can't answer if you keep screaming at me. Do you want me to answer your questions?
I'm waiting.
Are you going to stop
talking?
Are
you going to answer my question?
Yes.
Or are you going to sit here and look stupid? I'm quiet right now. I'm quiet.
This is why we have the First Amendment, so they can
Am I speaking?
So, no. When we talk about abortion, we talk about the living human being that's present inside of a mother's womb. Biology confirms this fact. This is not a religious belief that I hold. This is a scientific fact. The law of biogenesis says like begets like. We know the definition of life, and we know what's inside of a mother is living because that child is growing. You can call the child a fetus, a clump of cells, whatever, but the fact is that entity, which is a member of our human species, because two humans can't reproduce anything other besides a human, is in fact alive. The arguments that you're making to support your extremist beliefs to justify abortion
it's
is that
basic
the
human
child
right that
in
you're
the
trying to
womb
take away
doesn't
from
have
me.
value. The argument you're trying to and failing to make, in the argument that you really
You don't get to
should be
sit here and tell me what my
debating on-
argument is. If you want to
Ma'am,
answer
you
my
said you'd be
question, then
quiet.
answer my question.
Ma'am, you said you'd be quiet.
Answer the
The
question.
argument you're failing to make, and what you argument you should be making, is that you believe that the human inside of the womb has less value than a woman, and that certain people get
Yes,
to decide.
it does, because it's her
Exactly.
body, her choice.
Exactly.
Her body,
That is
exactly.
your
Her
act-
body, her choice.
Yeah, that is your argument.
Sorry.
It is not that it's not a human being or that's living, because that's flat out denying biology. We know it's living, and we know it's a human being.
What else would
What
it
you're
be?
arguing is that child doesn't have the same right to life as his or her mother, because you have decided, and what you said during your comments was that if I got pregnant and chose not to have an abortion, I can do that, but you can choose to have abortion because the mother gets to decide the value of that person.
The mother,
that is
it's
exactly,
the mother's child. That's
Bam,
exactly what
you're
I'm
not
saying.
letting me answer your question. That's exactly what
Shut up.
happened. That's exactly what happened in pre-Civil War
Just say what am I
America.
saying?
You could choose to assign value to Black Americans depending on what you felt like. You could say, oh, I am against slavery because I know these people are.
Saying wow doesn't support your argument. Using emotional appeals doesn't support your arguments. You have to actually speak facts like this lady is over here.
Human beings that have value, and no one has the right to own another human person. But if I was a plantation owner in the South, I could say,
no way
yeah,
this is
they have
real
some
life.
value, but they don't have
like
full
this actually
value
exist
because
outside
I
of, like,
deem it.
alt-right-wing
It's a
Twitter?
slippery slope. And that is not, by the way, that is not a religious belief. This is a scientific belief that this is a human being. Where we can differ on our belief is the
I ask a
value
question?
we assign. No, there's other people behind you.
I
There's
have
value
actually
that
one
you
more question
assign
to
to
ask,
human
and she
beings.
said I could ask a
That
question
is the
before I leave.
actual debatable question here today.
No,
is what
it's
is
not.
the value we assign to human beings in the womb? Does a human being in the womb have the same value,
are you gonna
the
stop
same
going
right
round
to
and
life
around and around
as
repeating
other
yourself?
people, or do they not? That is the true pro-abortion argument. That if you would have taken an hour to research, you could have come and made. But you failed
Can
to
I
do
ask
that
my
because you
question
denied
now?
biology.
Can I
Next
ask my
person.
question
No,
now?
you can get behind the line. Back the
You
line.
can sit here and
You can
like
get in the
try
back
and
of the line.
create
She's been
this
waiting
argument and
patiently.
idea that you have of what we believe in and push it back in my face, but it's not going to work. Your
You
little
can get in the back of the line.
logical fallacy, ring around the rosy, will not work on us. You disgust me, and if
All right, she's been
biology,
waiting to speak, ma'am. You're not allowing other women to speak.
suck my cock, suck it.
Okay, guys. I mean, there's so many issues. Like, she couldn't even provide any support for any of her quote unquote evidence. But you could just tell, like, I don't want to attack her character because, she used a lot of emotional pills, guys. But I mean, you could tell she's one of those girls, those hot Cheeto girls that swear she's a baddie when she's like clinically 60 pounds obese. Like, you could just tell the type they are. I mean, this is what I mean. I feel so bad for our generation because a lot of these kids end up going to college and they think it's okay to somehow biologically, murder your child just because they're quote unquote a fetus. I mean, do you know what a fetus is, guys? And the Latin that literally means a growing baby. That's a baby inside of your womb. That's all fetus means, guys. A fetus doesn't subtract it from having human life. So just because you call it a fetus or a baby or an embryo, whatever you want to call it, guys, it's still a human life, regardless if you like it or not. And as the word of God tells us, He knew us before we were in our mother's womb, guys. He knew us before we were in our mother's womb. So we have to remember that, guys. God intricately, intimately, and intelligently designed each and every single one of us. He loves us so much. So for you to go against God and to abort a creation that He created, you're just basically spitting in God's face, saying, God, I don't want you to do this for me. Like, how selfish and inconsiderate could you be, guys? That's a human life. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I mean, are you pro life? Are you pro choice? I mean, what do you think is biblical? And I hope you guys have a very blessed night. Subscribe, turn on notifications, smash that like button, and if you can, please go ahead and donate. I appreciate all financial support because I do need it. God bless.